Michael Buric is a researcher at the National Energy Technology Laboratory in Morgantown, West Virginia, where he experiments with lasers. He specializes in optics, the science of dealing with light to enhance energy systems.
At NETL, we're using lasers and fiber optics to do sensing. Basically, we're looking to be able to derive information about some sort of a very complicated environment. So the environments we look at are very, very hot and high pressure and corrosive or erosive. And some of the only methods to be able to probe these environments are using lasers and fiber optics.
Mike's interest in lasers began as a child growing up north of Pittsburgh in Shaler Township, Pennsylvania, where a home experiment inspired a lifelong fascination with electricity.
Somewhere along the line, when I was a little kid, my mom bought me a book by Robert E. Ionini called Build Your Own Laser, Phaser, and Ion Ray Gun. Turns out it was a super bad idea because I almost electrocuted myself, but I did manage to build a 250,000 volt Tesla coil when I was about 10 or 11 years old. So luckily, no one died, and I got really interested in electricity and science from that point on.
Mike's interest in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, followed him to Shaler Area High School. A memorable trigonometry teacher encouraged him to seek out more AP courses, which helped him graduate fourth in his class and earn an honors scholarship to the University of Pittsburgh. That's where he identified his passion as he worked toward bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in electrical engineering.
Eventually, I took a course in lasers and optoelectronics. And I just thought, wow, lasers have to be the coolest thing that any scientist can do. And nowadays, I get to play with lasers on a daily basis, so I think it worked out all right.
A few key mentors inspired Mike to keep learning along the way. Now he inspires middle and high school students as a volunteer for the West Virginia Regional Science Bowl.
I serve as a moderator, so that means I get to ask really challenging scientific questions to competing teams of students during rounds of competition. The students have lots of fun. I get to have lots of fun helping the competition along. And hopefully everybody, really learns a lot from that experience.
Mike said the Science Bowl helps students to be more competitive and improve test-taking skills. It's also a good reminder that STEM can be tons of fun.
So it's not all boring math, it's not all, paper pushing. We get to utilize some really neat pieces of equipment and do some really awesome science. And most of the time you don't see all the fun that we're having in the lab.
Part of the fun is in failure. Mike describes the scientific process as directed trial and error, with many lessons learned from his so-called mistakes.
And when you're doing science, you don't fail when you prove that your hypothesis is wrong. So the fact that you've proved that hypothesis is wrong, that hypothesis is wrong, is almost as valuable as proving the hypothesis right in some cases.
Science also affords lots of personal opportunities. Mike recently bought a farm, which he shares with his wife and 5 pugs, that provides plenty of room to experiment with carpentry and metalwork.
So I'm a machine junkie. I have lathes and mills and saws and things, all of which science has sort of helped me attain over the years.
Mike truly enjoys his work, and it shows. His enthusiasm is infectious. He wants you to know that it's important to find your passion, keep learning, and challenge yourself to go all the way.
At some point, you're going to get really tempted to take a job with your undergraduate degree or even with your high school diploma, but you should know that there's always more to learn out there. And if you pursue it, it'll lead you to greater and greater things.
So, what will you do?